Warminster Park. Where the sky opens and closes. Is this second 9/11 really going to happen? Was it designed for it to happen again? As in a second coming? Because the first time, I think with that first 9/11, I think the Messiah was learned about back then, and then the second coming. But how far in between is the second coming? Is it 3.5 years? 2,000 years? $21 days? Or a day is a year, or 21 years? I don't know. I just have a lot of questions, and I throw them up in there, in the air. Whatever question is worth being answered. You know, I can always count on Jonathan Kleck to elaborate more. He's just done the most work out of like most of the people on YouTube when it pertains to something that's actually relevant. Is that a queen bee? Nah, it's not big enough, right? Good thing queen bees likes me. The day I went down to 17th and JFK on October 21st, 2020, it was one of those moments where I realized, like, wow, I don't, for whatever reason, I'm not sure who Jonathan Kleck is, but I know he's somebody that has great authority in a certain area of something that has to do with being able to control stuff on this planet. I don't know what particular branch or what the job title is that he owns or runs or rules, but it's something. And he's talking to me. But why don't they just say directly who they're talking to in every video? And I realized, well, they don't do that. It's not how it works. You have to, if they're talking about you, you're going to find out that they're talking about you. And then you're going to be able to communicate with them. So the most amazing part is when somebody knows exactly how to speak that language and knows that in certain areas I'm going to catch on to exactly with what I need to. And I can't even say that it's me, because a lot of times with Jonathan Kleck over the years, almost 3 years now, he's communicated it in such a way that I can understand it easily, which means he's doing the work, and somehow he knows I'm going to catch on to that. Others, not so much, because it's all new. It's new to me. But if I was to think that somebody was going to rise up from the pit, and Jonathan Kleck always does those videos in those containers, Other people, they do them in different places, locations, they're driving. So that means they're at least acting like they're up on the land. But are they all down there? Or was it you, Jonathan Clegg? Did you go down to the pit? Was there a seat reserved for you and you took it? And Stephen James says there's a seat reserved for me. But I'm not taking a position in an area where it goes against the will of God, and anything that becomes forced. It's more like when the arrangements are made, it's unlimited, unconditional. Yes, I'll do that for you, Robin. Yes, that. Yes, 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 yes. Whatever it is, yes. Because we know what you're going to ask for already, and you deserve it. So we're going to give it to you. But you have to go through the rest of this platform talking to us. But really, most people think you're just talking in thin air. Not everybody, but mostly. You would think that you're just speaking into the airwaves. And that's actually true, because I am. These are the principalities of the airwaves that run it. And Lucifer is one of my highest trained reviewers. If not the highest trained reviewer, is Lucifer. So, how did that happen? I came into this park 4 years ago. 4.5. Back in November 2017. And I was pointing out the sky. There was only 2 of those poles at once before. Now there's 3. It's a pitchfork. Try that. And I was just wondering, like, what is it about this sky? It's just, I don't know where'd it come from. I feel like it's a screen or something. But I'm still amazed at how a cloud can go across the sun and it blocks out the sun down here. Even with heat and everything. So it definitely, how does an image step in front of a light bulb that has heat like that? I'm not exactly sure exactly the time when I started to think about a second 9/11. But I'm pretty sure it started right around when I started paying attention to Jonathan Clegg. And around August of 2019, so I was already 2 months in on just exploring what Jonathan Clegg is. And why is it that I feel like he just won't stop trying to talk back about things. And one personality seems like he can't stand me, hates my guts. The other one seems like he loves me. And then going back and forth with the Jonathan Clegg channel, it just felt like there was 2 different spirits at times. Or 2 different people. Completely. But how do I truly know? I just don't. I don't. But there is a twin system. And it's all about revealing things that are secretly hidden. Now, Stephen James, he would come after me. He would attack me. That's what the devil's job is to do. Satan, his job is to accuse the brethren day and night, day and night. And also to gang stalk them, to make it manifest in real life too, not only just online. That way they can flex their muscles quite a bit. But what did it for me was on February 29, 2020, when Jonathan Kleck made the video talking about Robin Hood, shill. Still didn't say specifically Robin's Hood. He said Robin Hood. So maybe there could be another one calling them shills, because obviously I know I'm not. And so he could be talking about somebody else. But then he dropped the name Robin and called me a nerd. And when he did that, he might as well have said, Robin, I love you. Because that's how I perceived it. Now, is that delusional? Like you're just taking what someone's saying bad about you to the good, as if they really mean it good? Yeah, right. Well, that's exactly what it is. And so that's why I know their hearts. The heart, their thoughts. What they truly feel, how they're saying it. Not sure yet as to everyone's position, but Jonathan Kleck's making a good case for the angel of the bottomless pit. He always talks about it. But I do remember there also is a Jacob and an Esau, but who's who in this script? Who is Esau and who is Jacob? So Jacob's the younger one. Esau's a little bit older, right? And the deceiver, Jacob. Well, SJD, my goodness. You want to talk about a deceiver? He could be trying to steal his brother's birthright, Esau. But then Harry and then what's her name? Nancy Pelosi. She means Harry too, right? I don't know what it is, but I've connected SJD and Nancy Pelosi together, as in, I don't know, maybe he runs her, or you're her behind a mask, or it's your agenda you're using her to fulfill, or it's just the same role, same position of authority behind the scenes as it is in the political realm. Not really sure. But I'll show certain clips and try to tie things together, and it's just the weirdest damn thing. I get a bunch of people chipping in, and they're like these high-profile YouTube channels that have brilliant minds, and they want to keep communicating back. So for as long as I got to do this, I know I'm talking to you. So it doesn't matter anymore of the past thoughts in my head about saying things out loud and being concerned about what people might think about me, because nobody truly can know unless you're from the inside and you're the one I'm talking to. Everybody else has like the jury. If this is up for the jury, you decide what you're even seeing, because this developed for me. So for people that were irritated at me, or hateful, or impatient, or very doubtful, I understand, because I'm not going to hold it against anybody when you find the truth out, because I had to find the truth out myself, and I couldn't hold it against anybody else for any knowledge that they had that I didn't. So Jonathan Kleck put in the most work with me specifically. And heading down to Harold Camping's World that day, I was pretty amazed that he waited until that morning to let me see the video, knowing that I'll go there before work, even though I'm supposed to be in work at like 7. But knowing that I'd rather go and see the predicted bombing that I predicted to happen, or if I'm there, it won't happen. But how would I even know anyway? I would only know by their communication to me truly what happened or not, and it wouldn't be known by the public. But I have a feeling it's going to be known by the public coming up, because it seems like more of you communicate about the time, the 12 noon, the place, Mount Rushmore, Abraham sacrificing Isaac, all the symbolism that goes on right there, where that entry is, that's blocked off. You rolled a stone out. It's like, Lazarus, come on out. Because somebody's rising up from the pit who's a beast. Now, is it the beast whose deadly wound was healed, or is it the beast coming up from out of the earth? Because from out of the earth would also represent the bottomless pit, and coming up from out of the earth. But you could also be coming up from out of the earth as you're walking your feet here, because Christ rose from the dead, and people you see are dead as they walk, and they follow their app, and they don't ever have any of their own thoughts. They just are controlled. So that with Christ rising from the dead, maybe somebody did rise from the dead as Christ, and they got put in their new body because it just got transferred. But to me, it means Christ actually, not that he literally got nailed to a cross and died in a physical sense, but you guys nailed him to the cross. And it was the sins that you committed against him. That's why he paid the price for your sins. He was crucified daily. He picked up his cross daily, crucified daily, not just once. But he rose from the dead because people were spiritually dead around him in the planet that he was in. And he rose up among them. They didn't kill him on the cross, and then they seen later on that he rose up. He actually rose up from the dead. That's how they noticed him. Like, oh wow, he's rising up among all of our sheep that we know are dead. Let's crucify him. What, again? Well, let's let them crucify him. I don't even know much about the Bible. I've just started to learn it, mainly since I hopped on YouTube 5 years ago. I knew enough to write some letters to my neighbors. And I thought before, like, man, all these poor innocent neighbors, poor innocent neighbors. I just want them to be ready for when it happens on the news. But I thought it would have happened sooner than 6 years ago. I thought we were right there. I was just a little early. So the ones that are early, they tend to get mocked because the sky is falling and they're Chicken Little. But when the sky really does fall, then Chicken Little told you so. And he blew the trumpet. He warned the people. The blood's on your hands now, not his. So what if he was 7 years early? That just gave you time to prepare, didn't it? Or it should. So I've found new people that I love. And they're people that I've never even met before. And then there were people on the same platform beforehand. I'm not going to say I loved any of you. It's like, you know, it's just I didn't have any problem with you until you turned against me. Then love went out the door. I don't love you because I know you're lying about me. And I don't like how you turned and you backstabbed. I don't love that. I don't love you for what you're doing. The sin inside of you, it was sickening to me. So how can I love sin? But I didn't realize you were hired by the people that I actually love. Like Jonathan Clegg, for instance. I feel like I love Jonathan Clegg more than I feel like David and him being really Jonathan, where the love I have, the amount of respect I have for the admiration, his way of communicating, knowing that the Lord God truly is the Lord God in heaven. It's not me or him or anybody else. But the love is like that more of a woman. Because the women in the world, in my life, have been quite difficult. Just different variations of Jezebelism. But my kid's mother, he knows it. I know it. She knows it. If there was a literal Jezebel in my life, it was her. Very, very demanding and controlling and just rough, like tough, rough, fired up, ready to fight, always starting shit. Man, I was put through hell. Saul, is that your daughter? Was that the daughter that we were talking about? Or is it my wife? Because I look at everything. I don't hide the fact that I can think, I wonder if everybody's in on it. Well, the Truman Show proved that everybody can be in on it, including your wife. It's like, well, I guess I'll have to see gang stalking tactics that are obvious. And when you keep seeing those, I think what happens is if you start I told my wife, I said, look, if you're a gang stalker from birth, I get it. I think that's what my kid's mom did with my son, drug him around, putting him in front of people, stepping out, because I see the parents doing it to me in the neighborhood, at work, the kid at work. It's embedded in them to do it naturally. The kid's a natural. So I said, I'm not even mad. I understand because you don't believe in me. You don't even understand what I'm even doing. But you will, and I'll forgive you. But it's like, don't get all upset if I see a tactic of you pulling out a driveway, I'm pulling up and just conveniently it's just there again, and then another time coming out the door, open the door, saying it's just convenient, it's always there, it's a coincidence, because what happens is it always becomes a coincidence. And I say, oh wow, nice move, gang stalker. And just like I said to my kid yesterday, when he cut in front of me, I'm like, all right, good move, gang stalker. He's like, huh. Like smiled. I said, you're gonna be a good employee of mine. I just don't know what position I'm gonna put yet, because of the dedication of his, consistent app following. But I'm not mad at him. I don't hold any irritation because of it. And even if my wife was, I'm not gonna be mad at her. It's just, if you're gonna come and attack me because I caught you, and the truth hurts, and now you're freaking out because I know and I can see every move, and I told you, they're going to make it more and more obvious if you are one, and it's just going to keep hurting you and convicting you because I'm going to point it out, and it's going to be true, and you're going to deny it, and, it's just the whole thing. You'll take it to your grave. I can forgive, truly, if you actually are one and you literally do turn from it and you stop. Instead of being one and then being called out on certain obviousness tactics, and then for someone to flip out on you because of it and then start blaming you as if you're the problem. Well, that's straight Jezebel. Straight up. I've dealt with her. And I won't put up with her again. So, but time will tell very soon, and it seems like it's coming more than ever. But even if it doesn't, it's still Nineveh repenting, that great city which is atop of the mountain. I don't think it's so much Philadelphia. That's more like Mystery Babylon, Israel. Mystery Israel. But the mountain, it's all about the mountain, all the sacrifices, everything up at the mountain this, the mountain that. But even if it's not the mountain, Nineveh repents, it doesn't get destroyed, but then Philadelphia does. So there may be celebrations beforehand, and then afterwards it does happen. And I bounce back and forth with these thoughts because who can truly predict the future besides those? If it ever happens the way I'm saying it, then everybody listening at this moment will know that it was true. I found the people that run this entire planet, and they've been going out of their way to communicate back and forth with me to show me the things that are coming up. And that's the only way that I know. But I can't prove it to anybody. I can't take this information into the court of law and prove that these are the people that showed me what was going to take place. I can only circumstantially show you the evidence, and then you as the jury can decide. And I'm not looking for destruction that's killing people, because I know this corporation is so on point with the people they hired to be at a certain place or not to be at a certain place, like the first 9/11, to be first responders, because you guys are the actors. You go in as the firefighters, police officers. You rush into the building. You go straight to the basement and get out of there. Hurry up before the building does collapse. And just continue on. But that would be too much of a miracle to believe nobody actually died. People could have gotten hurt, I'm sure, because you're still in a live environment where buildings are collapsing on you. But the intention of killing anybody wasn't there, because everybody was actors, first responders. So it can happen again anywhere. I've learned it through my work. Everybody's a first responder because they first respondly get my way. It's just always some type of lurking class. So I get used to it, and I just slow down a little bit, because that's all it is. They're trying to just cut you off. So it's like, all right. Plenty of times I've stopped before, and then I'll see the person walk by, and it's like, oh, too soon? No, you're perfect. You're on time, buddy. I'm just stepping. I'm stopping with my steps for a moment. And I just want to get people's attention for the right reason, because what it'll have to do with is it'll be a lesson of faith. How I believed in something so much, as if I've experienced it already and seen it, but I had to patiently wait for it to unfold. And then it finally unfolds, and then I finally have people's undivided attention. There's no more demonic thoughts about Robin and the lies that you've been told through SJD brainwashing you and whoever else of that nature, giving you bad ideas about me. You'll finally know what the truth is, and it's not going to be this horrible thing unless you're just straight 100% liar and you are not willing to budge whatsoever. Then all good things come to an end. First thing is the gang stalking corporation. It's pointless. The amount of time that people waste just being magnetized to me. They could be doing something else. If they want to be my slaves, all right, well, if you're not going to stop and the power is turned over and Jonathan Kleck rises up from out of the pit and you didn't think it was going to be like that, but it is. And then you hear me in your left ear, because I'm sure Lucifer will have me on as a special guest on his show, and just to talk to his people, because he's usually talking to them in their left ear, and then I hop on and I start to talk to you in your left ear. That would do it for me. I would appreciate that portion of it.